Well, hello and welcome to URL Insurance Group's Final Expense Sales Playbook webinar. My name is Matt Molina, and I am the Final Expense Manager here at URL Insurance Group. We're a part of the Life Markets division here, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to learn more about final expense sales here at URL Insurance Group. This webinar is designed to help you learn why you should be doing your final expense sales with URL Insurance Group, as well as a way for you to ask any questions that you have regarding the final expense marketplace. So at the end of the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to type those questions as we're going through the presentation, and then at the end of the presentation, I'll read those questions aloud and then answer those questions as well. If you've been in the life insurance industry for a while, or maybe even in the final expense industry for a while, a lot of you are probably running into people like this guy, where he brags about how much business he does each and every day and each and every week, and all the trips that he's going on and things like that. You too can become this guy if you want it to be this guy when you work with URL. You can be very proud of the work that you do. A lot of you are probably running in the hamster wheel, trying to run from appointment to appointment, and you're really not getting anywhere. So URL Insurance Group has developed a sales playbook that is designed specifically for each and every agent. One agent is not going to have the same sales playbook as another agent because your sales platform is going to be a little bit different. Your clientele is going to be a little bit different. And we can tweak the playbook so that you too can become very successful in the final expense marketplace. We can show you and we can develop a plan to help you make $50,000 additional in income, $75,000 in additional income, $100,000 or even more. It all starts with a plan, and it really starts with you partnering with URL Insurance Group, and we will put together a sales goal, and we'll analyze what it is you're trying to do. We'll come up with a plan. We'll make any revisions that we have to do, and then we will work on this together so that you become very successful in the final expense sales marketplace. When you look at the keys to being successful, there's 3 keys to being successful in the final expense marketplace and to become successful in selling final expense. The first thing you need to have are quality products, quality carriers. When you partner with URL Insurance Group, you're going to have access to all of those quality products and carriers. You also have to have consistent lead flow. We have various lead resources and lead subsidies to help keep those leads flowing so that you can see more and more people and close more and more deals and create more and more revenue for yourself and your agency. And you need to have reliable sales support and coaching. And we'll get into how we have our own sales support, where you basically have a sales support staff that you have to your access to, and you're not putting them on your payroll. We also have one-on-one coaching for you and any agents. If you own an agency, we can also help coach your agents as well. So let's get into it. Quality products and quality carriers. URL Insurance Group in the Life Markets division, we have over 40 different life insurance carriers, 18 carriers for final expense. We have carriers both large and small. You recognize some of these carriers, companies like Mutual of Omaha, Gerber, Foresters, Transamerica, AIG. You recognize some of them, but there's also some smaller companies that are also very good in the final expense marketplace. Companies like Royal Neighbors, Oxford, Americo, Occidental Life, and the list goes on and on. Like I said, we have about 18 different carriers when you partner with URL Insurance Group. We don't recommend that you get contracted with all 18 of these carriers. We usually say about 2, 3, max 4 companies that you should get contracted with. So if you're curious to know what our top carriers are, AIG is our top carrier for guaranteed issue plans, followed by Gerber. Some of our top sellers for traditional level benefit final expense plans are companies like Foresters, Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, Liberty Bankers, Royal Neighbors. Those are some of our top carriers, also United Home Life. And some of these carriers, they do more than just final expense. Some of these carriers will also carry you into the traditional term, universal life, or traditional whole life marketplaces as well. And we can help you with all of that. When you go on a final expense appointment, your goal is to try to get your client into a level benefit plan. For those of you who are not familiar with the lingo of final expense sales, the final expense lingo, level benefit means that the coverage is available day one. So if a client dies 24 hours after taking an application or after 24 hours after they've been approved, their beneficiary is going to get the full death benefit upon that person's death. If a client has some medical issues, then they can't qualify for a level benefit. Some of these companies will help you pivot to a graded or modified benefit. That's usually a 2 to 3 year wait for full coverage. So if the client passes away in the first 2 years, the beneficiary is not going to get the full death benefit. But a lot of times, if the client can't qualify for a level benefit, we automatically pivot to a guaranteed issue. And here's why. Guaranteed issue rates are cheaper. They don't look at a person's height and weight. They don't take into consideration a person's tobacco use. And again, they're cheaper rates. You're getting the same commission that you would if you were to stay with the same company with a graded or modified. Guaranteed issue, it's going to be cheaper for your client, which is what you're trying to do anyway. With guaranteed issue, it's a 2 year wait. Again, as I mentioned before, our top guaranteed issue carriers are companies like AIG and Gerber. And the way that works is if the client passes away due to health-related causes in the first 2 years, the beneficiary is going to get a return of all of the premiums paid plus 10% interest. Sometimes people will say, well, what's the difference between the guaranteed issues with AIG and Gerber and the Colonial Penns and the AARPs and the Globe Lives of the world? A lot of these companies, their rates are a lot more expensive than the AIGs and the Gerbers. Plus, if the client dies in the first 2 years, the AIG and Gerber pays a higher percentage. So it's 10% interest on that money that they've paid versus 6 or 7% with companies like Colonial Penn and AARP and Globe Life. So those are some of the differences there. So you have quality products, quality carriers when you partner with URL Insurance Group. So we've talked about the products and carriers a little bit. Now let's talk about having a consistent lead flow. In the final expense marketplace, leads are the lifeblood of your success. You need to have fresh people to see each and every day, each and every week. So with URL Insurance Group, we have done a lot of the research and we've partnered with some different lead vendors. We don't generate the leads here internally here at our IMO in our office, but we've partnered with different lead vendors so that you can find the best lead options and the most affordable lead options to you. Some of the lead options that you would have when you partner with URL are mailers, telemarketed leads, Facebook leads, and internet leads. Mailers, you can do a per lead order where you can get a minimum of 20 leads and you're guaranteed to get that number of leads, or you can do a mass mailing and you might get you may do a 1,000-piece mailer and you might get 15 to 20 leads out of that mailer. You could do telemarketed leads where you're guaranteed X amount of number of leads, 10 leads, 15 leads, 20 leads or more. With Facebook leads, that's the social media where it's a little bit of a different learning curve, but once you get in front of people, it's kind of the way of the future right now where a lot of people are on Facebook and some people even do final expense searches through Google and Bing. So we have internet leads as well. And what I have found in doing these different leads is each area has its own identity. So telemarketed leads may work very well in an urban area, Where a rural area, telemarketed leads don't work very well. Mailers are usually the way to go, or maybe even social media leads are the way to go. Depending on where you're trying to target, we can always pivot. You're not stuck with one lead vendor over another. We're not married to any of the lead vendors. We've just worked with some of these lead vendors who have turned out some pretty good leads for agents who are already partnered with URL and very successful in what they do. All of our leads, whether you're doing mailers, telemarketed leads, internet leads, Facebook leads, they're all exclusive. You are given a defined sales territory, and the lead costs are affordable. And you have a targeted demographic. You're targeting people who are going to be in the marketplace for final expense. So it's going to be going after the crowd of the 55 plus demographic. With all leads, as I've mentioned, it is the lifeblood of final expense sales. But if you want consistent, you have to be consistent. You need to set a consistent budget for leads for a consistent result. It's all about consistency. And with leads, there are the high tides and the low tides. There's the ebbs and flows. So you may order some leads and right out of the gate, you're doing really well. The tide's high. So you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to be seeing a lot of people and closing a lot of deals. But then there's going to be times where the tide's going to pull back. You're on a low tide. You're still spending the same amount of money, but you're not seeing those results. So you have to be able to ride the wave a little bit and be consistent. You will see that eventually you will make the money that you are looking to make. So if you're looking to make $100,000 in final expense sales, the math equation there is about 10 to 15% of your annual goal should be spent on marketing leads, whether it's telemarketed leads, mailers, whatever lead vendors, whatever lead source. You want to be able to allocate 10 to 15% of that towards marketing dollars so that you can reach your goals. Now, as we talk about the different lead costs that are associated with it, we here at URL partner with you. If you're willing to put some skin in the game, we're willing to put some skin in the game. So we're willing to subsidize your lead costs. So for every $1,000 of annualized premium that you place each month, URL is going to give you $50 for every $1,000. It's basically an extra 5% bonus to go towards leads. So if you've placed $5,000 in annualized final expense premium during this month, you're going to get a $250 lead credit from URL to help offset some of those lead costs. So we've talked about quality products, quality carriers. We've talked about our leads and our lead subsidies and how you get a consistent lead flow. Now let's talk a little bit about reliable sales support and coaching. As I mentioned before, not every agent that is in final expense is looking for leads. Some of you may already be in the senior marketplace selling Medicare. We have compliant Medicare cross-selling tools that you have available to you when you partner with URL. We have consumer-approved videos. If you want to put in a DVD or play a video on a laptop that explains the importance of final expense and what final expense products can do for your clients. So we have these consumer-approved videos that you can access. We have free membership benefits. Some of the carriers and some of the relationships that we have provide free membership benefits, college scholarships for the clients' children and grandchildren, free living wills, a bunch of different things that are available for your clients and their families. We have sales scripts on setting appointments, what to say when you're on an appointment, and how to close a final expense sale. We have presentation materials, and we also have office support. When you work with URL Insurance Group, you are assigned a case manager. That case manager is basically on your staff to try to help you get as many applications processed as quickly as possible. Because let's face it, nobody is getting paid unless that case gets placed. So you have office support to help you do that. We're helping make sure that all of the forms are in correct order so that you can get out there and see more people and close more deals. We also have a Final Expense quote engine. If you go to our website at URL, insgroup.com, and you click on Departments, Life Markets, and then Quoting Tools, it's going to take you to this page. For our Final Expense quote engine, click on Final Expense, and it's going to take you to this next screen here on the left-hand side, which is our Final Expense quote engine. You'll put in the state that you're in, the date of birth of the client, their gender, tobacco or non-tobacco, and the amount of coverage, and then click on Get Quotes Now. You don't have to do anything with the access key. And you're going to want to keep it at a level benefit. So when you click Get Quotes Now, it's going to take you to this next screen here that you see on the right. So on the right-hand side, our quote engine is doing the shopping for you. And it's basically going to give you the rates on an annual and monthly basis. And then there's the product guides that you can click on the PDF to learn more about the product. Now, we usually tell agents this is more for agent eyes, not for the consumer, because you're not going to be licensed with every carrier under the sun. So you're going to be licensed and you're going to be looking for the carriers that you already have, whether it's an Oxford or a Mutual of Omaha or whatever it is. And you're going to be looking at that. When you're on a final expense appointment, it's usually good to give the client 3 premium choices, so that kind of like when they go to any other place, they can get the good, better, and best plan. So depending on their budget. So you might give them a rate for $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000, and let them pick which premium is most affordable to them. So we've talked about our quality products, quality carriers. We've talked about our lead sources and the lead subsidies. We've talked about the sales support that we have. So we've kind of talked about all this. Again, our Final Expense Playbook is designed specifically for you. You and I have to have a conversation so that we know where to start and where our goal is. So we will design a playbook specifically for you. It'll consist of sales scripts. There's PowerPoint presentations. There's turnkey marketing materials. We have exclusive leads that will fit any of your budgets. Minimum is $250 to get 10 leads for telemarketed leads. We subsidize your lead costs based on your production. We have one-on-one and team coaching. So if you have an agency or an agent sales staff and you want them to learn more about how to sell Final Expense, let me know. We can set up a time to do some coaching for you and your sales team. Most Final Expense commissions start at 100 to 120%. It depends on the carrier, also depends on the product. Your commissions, when you work with URL Insurance Group, your commissions are vested day one. Your commissions go with you. And we do have agency contracts available as well. Let me tell you a little bit about URL Insurance Group. We are a full-service brokerage that specializes in life insurance, annuities, health insurance, Medicare, employee benefits, and a whole lot more. We have been doing this. We've been supporting the independent brokerage community since 1986, and it's all about people. It's about helping you help your clients. If we don't have quality products, if we don't have quality carriers, we're not going to be able to support you and help you get in front of your clients and to close more deals. So we're consistently looking at new carriers and new products to keep you competitive and to keep you in front of your competitors in the Final Expense marketplace and really in any marketplace that we do business in. When you work with URL Insurance Group, you also have access to all the carrier trips that they have. There's a lot of trip incentives that are out there, whether it's going to Hawaii or going to Europe, ski trips, cruises, hunting trips, fishing trips, whatever the case may be. Our mantra is you work hard, you play hard. You earn that trip, and we want to see you enjoy that trip as well. And that's in addition to the commissions that you would earn from your Final Expense sales. So the next step is up to you. Are you ready to take the next step to making more money? If so, call me today to get your individualized Final Expense Sales Playbook. You and I can put together a time and set up a time to plan so that you can also be successful and you can be at the forefront of the final expense marketplace. You can reach me toll-free at 800-926-8875, extension 141. Again, it's 800-926-8875, extension 141. My direct dial line, if you want to bypass our switchboard, you can go directly to my phone extension at 717-216-8041, 717-216-8041. That's the Final Expense Sales Playbook here at URL Insurance Group. The only person that is holding you back from becoming successful in final expense sales is you, and I can help you grow your final expense sales by giving me a call. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask those questions. I'll be happy to read those questions aloud, and we'll get those questions answered for you. Thank you very much for your time today, and I'll hang on here for any questions that you might have.